Day 1117 this was of the Trump administration, which leaves 267 days to go until our 2020 presidential election. And as we come on the air here in the East Coast tonight, we are now 1 hour away from the first actual results from New Hampshire as they cast the first votes just after midnight. Bernie Sanders of adjacent Vermont has been leading in most recent polls in New Hampshire. But after an apparently good showing in Iowa, Mayor Pete has been climbing. A new national poll from Quinnipiac out today gives Bernie the lead with 25, followed by Biden at 17. Mike Bloomberg has jumped to 15%. More on that in just a bit. Elizabeth Warren, 14, and you see the rest. New Hampshire's Secretary of State Bill Gardner is projecting tomorrow's turnout will be the highest ever for a primary involving an incumbent in office. Quote, Gardner predicted roughly 292,000 ballots will be cast in the Democratic primary and 128,000 in the GOP race. In hope that's thunder and free media time tonight, the president held a rally right there in Manchester, New Hampshire, where it turns out he had a whole lot to say.
On Tuesday, I delivered my address on the State of the Union, and I had somebody behind me who was mumbling terribly, mumbling, wah, wah, ho, ha. In the Senate, other than Romney, we had... Remember President Obama? You can keep your plan, you can keep 28 times, you can keep your doctor. That didn't turn out very good. We should impeach him for that. We should impeach President Obama.
As the president was trying to counter-program, the White House released his new budget proposal. It's a $4.8 trillion blueprint that would boost defense spending while cutting programs like the EPA, food stamps, Medicaid. Any federal budget, of course, must be approved by Congress, and some lawmakers have already labeled it DOA. There are also several updates tonight related to the old original Robert Mueller Russia investigation. Prosecutors are asking for a prison sentence of 7 to 9 years for Roger Stone, Trump's friend of over 40 years, following his conviction on witness tampering and obstruction charges. And a judge has indefinitely postponed former National Security Advisor Mike Flynn's sentencing on a charge of lying to the FBI. You may know Flynn pleaded guilty to the charge. That was over 2 years ago now. Now he's trying to withdraw his guilty plea. We're also learning more about Rudy's efforts to dig up dirt on all things Biden-related in Ukraine. Over the weekend, Giuliani claimed he had a smoking gun on Hunter Biden. Senator Lindsey Graham quickly followed that up on Sunday morning.
So Rudy Giuliani last night said he's got the goods on Hunter Biden. I called the Attorney General this morning and Richard Burr, the chairman of the Intel Committee, and they told me take very cautiously anything coming out of the Ukraine against anybody. If Rudy Giuliani has any information coming out of the Ukraine, he needs to turn it over to the Department of Justice because it could be Russian propaganda.
Luckily for Rudy, earlier today, the Attorney General said the Justice Department had set up what he called an intake process to evaluate any information Rudy might provide.
We can't take anything we receive from the Ukraine at face value. And for that reason, we had established an intake process in the field so that any information coming in about Ukraine could be carefully scrutinized by the department and its intelligence community partners so that we could assess its provenance and its credibility.
Remember, what this also does is lightly back up the Russian talking point that Ukraine was meddling in our election. Democrats are demanding to know more on all of this. Jerry Nadler, chairman of House Judiciary, sent a letter to BARR today that reads in part, quote, given your creation of a new intake process for Mr. Giuliani, it's all the more important that you provide a complete explanation for your decision to sidestep standard department practice. Meanwhile, following the president's acquittal in the Senate, the vote of not guilty, he is stepping up attacks on the senators who voted guilty. Here's what he had to say to the governor of Utah about Utah Republican Senator Mitt Romney during a White House event this morning.
Gary? How's Mitt Romney? You keep him. We don't want him. Go ahead.
States are used to...
Doing a great job in Utah, by the way. Go ahead, Gary.
Trump is also attacking Senator Joe Manchin, Democrat of West Virginia. Over the weekend, he wrote this: "They are really mad at Senator Joe Manchin in West Virginia. He couldn't understand the transcripts." Today, in an interview with our own Hallie Jackson, the senator, a former Division I football scholarship athlete, fired back.
The Munchkin, I'm taller than him. I think I'm a little bit bigger than he is. Not heavier. He's much heavier than me.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.